People stranded at airports across the country are now trying to find any way possible to get home. Some are renting cars, driving long hours, sometimes days. Good evening. I'm Jesse Pagan in for Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto, but even that is becoming a challenge for stranded travelers. CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe has more on the travel nightmare from the car rental center at San Diego International Airport.
Behind me, you can see a line of people trying to get their car rentals. Many of them had their flights either delayed or canceled, and at this point they say they're just trying to get home. It's the holiday travel nightmare that doesn't seem to be easing up. An endless line of travelers looking for a way to get home filled the car rental center near the airport. Kayla Zibney and her family decided to try their luck renting a car with budget.
Our flight was supposed to leave at 1 and then it got delayed and now.
After waiting an hour and a half in line, they were finally able to drive away in a car, but others like Paige Cardona were told to come back tomorrow.
I'm kind of in disbelief, really. So, yeah, I was really hoping to make it home.
Cardona, who works in the health industry in El Paso, says she had planned on getting back to work tomorrow, but after her flight was canceled, she eventually gave up on air travel.
I think it's ridiculous. You know, I understand if this was like maybe a weather issue, but there's nothing going on in the Southwest.
We reached out to car rental companies, but so far have heard back from Hertz, which says they are seeing a surge in demand for rentals across the country and in San Diego. In a statement, a spokesperson for the company says, on Monday, our U.S. contact center experienced record call volume, and we continue to see sustained demand for bookings, reservation modifications, and one-way rentals. It adds that it is working to serve those whose travel plans have been disrupted on the roads as quickly as possible. Now, many stranded passengers are staying in San Diego longer than they previously planned to, filling up hotels across town.
And we've had a bit more arrivals that we weren't expecting yesterday and today.
Stanley Anderson's flight back to Florida was canceled 3 times since last Friday, forcing him to extend his stay at the Sheraton Hotel across the airport.
It all adds up. We've been on vacation for 2 weeks, so I was just ready to be home.
The Sheraton says it's been a busy couple of days and they anticipate more people in the coming days. Meanwhile, the Urban Boutique Hotel in Little Italy says they're all sold out of rooms.
We're booked up tonight. We booked up the last 2 nights, so a lot of people coming in to need a place to stay.
Southwest says you are able to request a refund for any unexpected expenses, so those having to book hotels or car rentals should hang on to their receipts. Rocio de la Fe, CBS 8.
All right, Rocio, thank you. Meantime, CBS 8's Marcella Lee and her family had their own Southwest flight canceled. What was supposed to be a 2.5-hour flight to Denver turned into a 30-plus-hour ordeal to get to their annual family reunion. When they got to San Diego International, they saw their plane at the gate. Then the delays started piling up. Eventually, it got canceled. They luckily found a rental car to start the 15-hour drive to Colorado.
I already paid a caregiver to stay with my mom for a week. We already paid for the condo. We've already paid for the lift tickets. We figured let's just go for it.
But once they hit the road, they found cars backed up for hundreds of miles. Some gas stations were running out of gas and closing down for the day. After an overnight pit stop in Utah, they finally made it to their destination about an hour ago now, 33 hours after their flight from San Diego was supposed to leave.
Brutal. And the delays and cancellations have other people scrambling, much like Marcella did, and facing unexpected expenses, but you could have a right to get your money back.
Yeah, CBS 8's Ariana Cohen talked with the experts to find out what you or your friends and family can do.
This is what the food court now looks like in Terminal 1 of San Diego International Airport. It's a sea of misplaced and lost luggage. It's times like this that you would need a bright colored bag or something that stands out. And with all these canceled flights and stranded passengers, what rights do you have as a traveler? I talked to experts to find out.
Some good news for travelers. I spoke to AAA's Doug Shoup.
It is good to know that, if your flight is canceled for any reason, including bad weather, you are entitled to a refund.
He says passengers are also entitled to a refund if the airline has a scheduling change. Airlines do not have to refund non-refundable tickets, but they can issue a travel credit for future use. Airhelp.com and Flightright.com are helpful websites to see if you can get reimbursed. All you have to do is fill out a quick form.
Incidental expenses. are not required to be refunded. So, if a passenger incurs incidental expenses like a rental car or a hotel or a meal due to a significant delay or a canceled flight, then unfortunately they are not entitled to a refund.
However, Southwest says if you have a significant flight delay between Christmas Eve and January 2nd, they will honor requests for reimbursements for meals, hotels, and alternate transportation. Another issue for travelers, misplaced luggage. Airlines are required to refund any fees associated with damaged or lost bags, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation.
I mean, I had all the Christmas presents in it, so that was kind of tough.
Emily Nepler hasn't been able to find her bags for 3 days. That was until her sister saw her suitcase on TikTok.
And then I saw her, it's like a bright blue luggage, and I sent it to her, and it's here, they told us, so.
Others aren't so lucky. Alan and his family still do not have all 4 of their bags from their travels.
We brought some stuff for Christmas, like we had a small tree, we had the car seats. So we were going to have a little Christmas, away from home with our children. So that, we weren't able to really open up the gifts.
Today, they only found 2 of their suitcases. They plan to search here again tomorrow.
If you have a canceled Southwest flight and book a flight through another airline, the airline is not required to reimburse you. But Shoup says it never hurts to ask. We posted the passenger bill of rights and other helpful links at CBS8.com. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Rain is on the way to San Diego, and we're feeling the cool down already.
Looking forward to it. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is here with an early look at your microclimate forecast, and it's coming.
It's here.
You're inside, so I'm missing out right now.
Well, here's the thing. It has not impacted all of San Diego County just yet. So North County starting to have that wet weather move in. So yes, we are talking about a storm system that is set to move in, and taking a look at our current satellite radar, you're starting to see some of that shower activity moving in, as I mentioned, for North County. So across Oceanside, Fallbrook, getting closer towards Del Mar as well, seeing a scattered shower activity developing across Escondido as well as Ramona. And a lot more of that moisture is on the way. You can still see the bulk of that moisture is still north of us. So Orange County getting a little bit of a break right now as we're seeing some scattered showers across LA. But hey, even more is on the way. You're talking about a weakening atmospheric river. So that's when we talk about basically turning on the hose, walking away, then eventually turning it back on. So we are looking at chance for rain from 10 p.m. all the way until 4 a.m. And that is likely rain. Light to moderate rainfall could get heavy in spots, even developing with some downpours across the South Bay, and that would be in the overnight hours. So we'll go ahead and time out all the rain coming up in that forecast, in your complete forecast. But right now, back to the fellas.
We'll see you in a few. Thanks, Carlene. The Supreme Court will keep a pandemic-era border restriction in place for now.
Today's 5-4 ruling means Title 42 will stay in effect while the court considers its legality in the spring session. As Skylar Henry reports, the last-minute ruling is leaving the policy's legal status up in limbo.
The Supreme Court has told the Biden administration it can't end Title 42, the Trump-era policy limiting entry into the U.S. because of the pandemic. The order, handed down by Chief Justice John Roberts, mandates the Biden administration continue to enforce Title 42 for now. The court will hear arguments on the case in February and then make a decision later in 2023. More than a dozen Republican governors had sued the Biden administration to keep the order in place. The administration admitted in a court filing that it expected to see a big increase in migration if Title 42 was lifted, potentially even doubling the number of migrants already crossing the border. El Paso has extended an emergency declaration as it struggles to accommodate the growing migrant population arriving daily.
There are babies, there are little kids here, there are all kinds of people here.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has responded by busing migrants out of Texas, including the latest destination. A bus dropped off migrants outside Vice President Kamala Harris's Washington residence in sub-freezing temperatures on Christmas Eve. The White House called it a cruel, dangerous, and shameful stunt. The governor's office responded saying the White House is full of a bunch of hypocrites. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
It was 36 years ago today that a CHP officer killed San Diego State student Cara Knott.
Today, CBS 8's Elizabeth Sanchez talked with Kara's family off I-15 near the Mercy Road exit at the scene of the crime.
Kara Knott's body was found just below this bridge. Her car was found about a quarter-mile away from here. And since then, her family has constructed a memorial garden just down the way here in her honor.
Your heart is never the same. We're forever fractured.
The heartbreak from losing a family member to a senseless crime can be hard to overcome.
There's just no words. The pain will be with all of us the rest of our lives.
It's been 36 years since 20-year-old Kara Knott's body was found in a deserted area off the old Highway 395 bridge. She had called her parents, saying she was leaving her boyfriend's house in Escondido. She stopped to put gas in her car, then drove on I-15 towards her home in El Cajon, but she never made it.
Looking for her all night long, up and down the freeways.
Cynthia Knott recalls how she felt seeing her sister's 1968 VW Beetle.
It was like being in a tomb, the deathly, eerie, the worst gut-wrenching feeling when we saw her car. It was like nothing I can ever describe. Just, we knew she was gone.
2.5 weeks later, police arrested Officer Craig Pyer, a 13-year veteran of the CHP.
She did everything right, and she was pulled over by a CHP officer, directed off the highway down into a cul-de-sac, and he took out a rope out of his trunk, walked up to her, hit her with a flashlight, knocking her down, wrapping a rope around her neck, strangling her until she was dead, then took her body, apparently put it on top of his patrol car, drove the body over a bridge, then took the body off the hood of the car and dumped it off that bridge down 100 feet into a ravine.
Pyer was convicted and sentenced to 25 years to life.
The sense of betrayal, especially among women in San Diego, was unlike anything I have ever seen or heard of before or since then.
The murder led to changes orchestrated by Knott's father, Sam.
The first thing he did was change the 48-hour waiting period to file a missing persons report if you were 18 or older, to eliminating that.
Pyer has been denied parole, but will get another chance in 2027.
As long as there's a breath in my body, I will fight for keeping the monster in prison and my dad's memory and my sister's memory.
Elizabeth Sanchez, CBS 8.